guys? This weekend we got some free fights. It's UFC on Fox 4. Vera versus Shogun. Shogun versus Vera, I think they're calling it. So I'm going to give you some quick predictions and a little live preview of it. The first fight I'll talk about Joe Lauzon versus Jamie Varner. These are two guys that are very similar age, very close in age, similar size, similar records. I like Varner in this fight. He's got some championship experience. He was a WEC champion. He's coming off a big win over Edson Barbosa, who had previously been undefeated. And Lauzon, I think he lost his last fight to Anthony Pettis. He was knocked out, in fact, head kick, I think. And so I like Varner. Like I said, I like that experience. He's on a little bit of a roll. He's won 3 fights in a row. 2 of them were outside of the UFC. So I think he'll pick up the win here. Next up, we got Mike Swick versus DeMarcus Johnson. Now, Swick, he has actually been out for 2 years. He had a stomach ailment. Prior to that, he'd lost his last 2 fights. Before that, he was actually on the verge of a title shot. He was actually in a title eliminator against Dan Hardy, and he lost by decision. And then he was choked out in his next fight against Paulo Thiago. Since then, he's missed 2 years. He had a stomach ailment. And for that reason, I'm going with Johnson. I just think ring rust could be a big factor. And having a stomach problem, that's a big deal for a fighter where nutrition is just such an important part of the game. And, keeping on weight and all that, he had trouble, with what he could eat. I think it's going to be a big factor. I look for Johnson to win by either decision or maybe even a late finish. The next fight I'll talk about is Lyoto Machida versus Ryan Bader. This is an easy pick for me. I like Machida. I think he's tailor-made to beat somebody like Bader. Machida has really good takedown defense because of his sumo background. You don't get taken down a lot. In fact, I can't remember him being taken down in a fight. And Bader, that's the strength of his game, is his wrestling. I don't think he can hang with Machida in a striking match. Machida's essentially going to sprawl and brawl and pick him apart. And I look for him to win that one by unanimous decision. Finally, I'll get to the headliner, Shogun versus Brandon the Truth Vera. I think this is going to be a good fight. It's hopefully Brandon Vera, who was cut by the UFC after his loss to Thiago Silva. He was brought back after proving Silva had taken performance enhancers. But this is a guy who had a lot of promise. He came in, he was a heavyweight, he was exciting, he was flashy, claimed he was going to be the first guy to hold the heavyweight and the light heavyweight titles. And he ended up dropping down to light heavyweight, never won the heavyweight title. And he just lost his aggression, he's gotten too safe. He fights, he's had a lot of fights that he could have won. Some he should have. A lot of people thought his loss to Randy Couture, he should have won that decision. But again, he wasn't aggressive in that fight. Same thing with his fight with Keith Jardine. So if he comes out with aggression, he can hang in this fight, and I think it would be an amazing fight. But you can't count on that because he just hasn't done it lately. Whereas Shogun has been just putting on amazing fights. His last fight with Dan Henderson was a fight of the year for a lot of people in 2011. And he has not lost his aggression. He's still aggressive. His body, unfortunately, is just not able to keep up with his aggression. And he's been battling injuries for years, but he seems to be pretty healthy right now. So I really look for him to go in. I think this could be a quick finish, first or second round. I'm hoping Brandon Vera brings it, and it's just an amazing fight. But again, he hasn't done it lately, so you can't count on it. And I look for Shogun to finish it in the first or second round. That's my predictions for the fights. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment or a video response. And if you like these videos, please subscribe.